Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. If you haven't already, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little bell notification if you want to be notified for when I make new content. In today's video, we're going to be doing a requested video, which is going to be an updated island tour. Just so you guys know, like, this is by no means my completed island at all. This is just an update of where I am right now. I have also made videos for most of the areas on my island, so I will include little cards up above if you guys are interested in seeing those videos in which I made those areas on my island. I'm also going to be doing kind of like a ranking system to just indicate which areas of my island are my favorite. And without further ado, let's start this island tour. So first things first, this is my entrance. This is probably my most recently redone area on my island. The only thing that's difficult about designing a front entrance on my island is that this place is like not in a good area. Like, I literally have my residential services or my city hall just like over there in the top left, and then my house is over there. You can see it in like the right. Like, it's a very small space. It's not symmetrical, and I couldn't really do like one of those nice like central focal points, you know, that people have for their front entrances. So I've just had to make do with what I had. I also included a free DIY area in my entrance. Unfortunately, I have so many accumulating and I don't have like ones that people are looking for. So literally people come to my island and they'll only take like one, and I'm left with this huge pile. So this area on my island is where I dump extra flowers and trees. Nothing special. I'm going to be turning that though into a train station, like a stop. This area here I also recently redid. It's kind of like my little like subway train station area that I used with the warp pipe, and I basically use it as like a fast track way to get to my secret beach, just because like when Red's around it's a lot easier to access it. So like if people wanted to come by to my island to just check out to see what Red had, they can just hop in there and then boom, they're at the secret beach, check out Red's ship, and then they just come right back to the front entrance. Nothing complicated, nothing where they have to run to the other end of my island. I don't have to build stairs everywhere. I don't have to terraform everything. It's great. So a lot of my villagers' homes, so this is Stitches, I do have to go back and redo. I don't know if you can tell, but those are like the original items that you had to make in order, to have that house built. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and redo the yard. This is my tiny pumpkin patch. I did make a video for this one. And I just like that area because I can just keep my pumpkins growing all year round. This is like a little picnic area, and this is my micro farm, which I also have a video for. I do believe I included the pattern that I used in order to do the tops of the stalls as well as the panel, so I'll just include a card. So here we have Octavian's house. Like I said, I do have to go back and redo yards. Like, it's not one of my big priorities, so that's why a lot of them don't look that great. So this is my house. We've got to wait for Octavian to move. But yeah, for my house, same thing. I have very little space in my yard because of how I initially like laid out all the homes. So my yard's a little bit small, but in order to make up for that, I kind of included like this second level backyard kind of thing. So it's like a little secluded area. You can put like little bits of furniture or whatever. I could have made it larger, but yeah, who cares? It looks fine the way it is to me. And then the next villager we have is Blue Bear. Again, another yard that I have to redo, but at least hers is like a little bit larger, so I can play around with like trees and everything, which is my biggest problem right now, is finding areas for trees. This is a little picnic area that I made. I will probably go back and redo the entire picnic area to make it a little bit more appealing, because I try to like dump more trees in areas because I have so many of them, and I can definitely probably add more if I redid it. This is my graveyard. I definitely have a video in this area, so I'll include a card for it. I kind of like that video because that's one where I talk about like movies I've been watching and that time I got robbed, so it's a little entertaining. So that area right there was just like an area where I was using to dump flowers, because this was during the time where I kind of cared about where my flowers were dumped, but as you can see, I got over that phase and I just started dumping them everywhere. So yeah, this is another area that I gotta work on, because right now it's just another one of those dump areas. So this area was a video I did for ideas for large spaces. The shape of this area is so awkward that I was just firing up Pinterest and I saw a few people that had done something similar to this, where they just made a big pool of water and included like items all around it. So I just kind of made something similar to it. and I'll include the card for the video if you guys were interested in that. This area I built when I first started playing the game. I definitely like the whole focal point of having that little like swing bench there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and make it more into like a garden area, so I'll tie it all together. This is my campsite, and I do have a video on this one as well, so I will include a card. I don't know if you guys could tell what was playing on like that little like flower record player that I had over there, but it's definitely Bubblegum KK. And we're gonna fly up to this portion of my island, so we're getting close to one of my favorite areas. But before we go there, I'm just going to show you guys my little carnival area. I did make a video on this as well, and this one I do include the pattern codes that I used for both the like balloon game, where the one where you pop the balloons. I have the codes for that, as well as the pattern codes for the cotton candy sign, so I'll just include a card here. And if you guys were interested in other details on my island, such as like my island flag or my island tune, let me know, because I do have the pattern codes, and the song that I use is like a version of Jerk It Out by Caesar's Palace, so I can definitely make a video on that. And so we're at the first part of my island where it's definitely one of my favorites, which is my Able Sisters store. This one took me quite a while because I basically mowed down an entire area to put the store in here. And I also made like a little external portion to their store, which I really like, and I included like little samples of like the clothes that they make at the front. It's kind of hard to see the one, but it's like, you guys can see it there. And then yeah, this little external portion to the store itself. And then I found that using like the rope fencing really made it easier to like section off areas. So it kind of looked a little bit, instead of like one giant like disorganized mess, it definitely like sectioned it off, made it look cleaner. So that was just a little Zen garden area that I made. And oof, this is Pate's house. I definitely have to go back and redo hers. It's a mess, because this is the area where initially my Able Sister store was, and then just swapped it, and I never went back and redid anything. So I also have a little like seating cafe area over here. And then we have Molly's house, which is also a disaster that needs to be redone, but enough about that eyesore. I definitely have to redo this area here. This is just kind of like a blank slate area. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it yet, but I'll think of something. And this is my small music venue. I do have a video for this area, so I will include a card here. And the next area I'm going to show is my orchard. I did like a two-part video on doing this area, and I do believe that I include the pattern codes as well for each of the fruit trees, so I'll include both cards here. And I'll just like quickly show you guys as well, like so you can kind of see like my island flag, it was a custom pattern. So yeah, like I said, if you guys were interested in seeing the code that I use, just let me know, and then I can show you my island song as well as my pattern code for my flag. This area here we're going to come back to in a second, but this area, my masterpiece of a train station, is definitely by far my most popular video. I'll include a link here. I know in that video as well I have all the pattern codes included, so if you guys want to go and make your own train station on your island, you can use the codes that I used. But yeah, this area right here is definitely one of my most favorite areas on my island. Anything related to trains, chances are like I love it, but right now, as it stands, my Able Sisters store and the train station so far are my favorite in this tour. So that was Bill's house. I recently redid Bill's house. If you guys are interested, I'll include a little video there. It was just a little thing because I forgot his birthday and I felt kind of bad, so I went and redid his front yard. So that's Robots Yard. It's one of those yards again that I just have not touched. And this area here is a little, once again, a little train station area. This is probably one of my favorites. I'm going to try and mirror something like this with my Warp Pipe train station. And this area here is just like a little courtyard that I included. But back to that little train station spot that I made. Yeah, I definitely like that. It's little, it's simple. I love it. This is like a little Zen garden area because, bro, I had this little square area after I did the courtyard and the little ticket area, and I'm like, oof, what am I going to do with this little space? So I threw one of those in. You can kind of see here that I did a little train that runs across this portion of the island. So it kind of corresponds with the train station that we have over there. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but I did include like a little outfit behind there that was like a server, so it looks like someone working the ticket booth. This area right here is kind of like my fish market area. I included people behind the stalls once again to make it look like workers that were there. I might go back and redo this area because it's kind of underwhelming, but you know, it is what it is. And this area here, I actually did a video for, so this is like my dessert bar area, so I'll include a card up here. And it's really funny because the next section of this beach was kind of like a happy accident. So this is just a collection of things that I had on my shoreline that when I was making those other two areas I had to move over, and I just kind of threw them all in that one little area. And it doesn't look that bad, so I might come back and like spruce it up a bit, but for now, like that's a pretty happy accident considering most of the areas where I, you know, dump things don't look that great. Also, I'm going to probably be doing videos in the future, so you notice where I had that little well. I have a whole bunch of these little areas on my island that I'm going to go and like spruce up a bit. So this little area here, I just terraformed like a little waterfall and I put a lighthouse on top. This used to be Peaches' house, but it's now Lolly's house, so that's why the front yard looks like garbage because I didn't really care about Peaches, so I just dumped a whole bunch of stuff. So I do have to go back and redo Lolly's front yard. And this area here is just my little beachside tiki bar. I did do a video on this one where I included the pattern codes for both the stall and the menu board. So I'll just include a card to the video up here. Right now, I just gotta quickly run over to this section of the island. So this area here definitely needs to be redone. It was like supposed to be like a little park, and I want to include like little statues everywhere, but I kind of overgrew with flowers, and I gotta go back and redo everything. So this area here is kind of like a canal-side cafe idea. I did make a video for this one, so I'll include a card up here if you guys are interested. I kind of came up with this idea after I realized that I had ordered a whole bunch of food items around the Christmas time, and I was like, what am I gonna build in order to put out all of these food items? So that's why I decided to put out a cafe. And it was also the time where I started getting the DIYs for like those ice items. I don't know why, but I can only get one DIY card from that snowman. I don't know where I messed up, but clearly I did something wrong because I could only get one. So this area here is my boardwalk. Again, I do have a video for this section here, so I'll include a card. And then just a little ways up ahead, I do have my little spa area, which I also have a video for, so I'll include a card up here if you guys are interested in that. I remember it really sucked to do this area just because there's so much stuff I wanted to put on this rock, and it's such little space that you had to rearrange everything correctly, or else you would have to either pick everything up and put it back in your pockets and then put down the item that you want and then rearrange everything. It was a nuisance. Alright, so we're finally on the second level of my island. So this is Beau's house. This area I want to redo for like a forest theme, kind of like a cottagecore area, just because I feel like that fits with Beau's aesthetic. But that'll be another video for another day. But yeah, you can kind of see like it's quite a large area, so I have quite a lot to work with. And then I don't know if you guys noticed, but once again, I have more train spots on my island. So I built a bridge, and I thought it'd be really cool to like play around with perspective and put the train beside it. I also have this little area here. I know someone had asked in one of my videos like why there's like blood splatter above my train station, and that's because I actually had my graveyard used to be in this area, and I had a well with all the drag marks and everything coming from it, so that's why those are there. I just never cleared up the patterns, but if you're wondering, that's where the well came from. And then here I just wanted to show like example of like the perspective, because I kind of like how the train kind of ties in with the bridge and the waterfall in the background. So the other side of this bridge is Eugene's house, which, you know, I'm gonna have to redo his yard, but everything surrounding it I'm quite happy with. In this area I started utilizing seating areas, so then I can put a tree on each side and then try to build like little flower beds around it. As you can see, I'm trying to show the little flower area. And then this little strip of area, I had no idea what to do with it, so I just kind of like made it into like a little dog yard area. So this again is another little canal area Nothing too crazy about it. I just like the idea of having a waterfall with like a little stream that runs through, and then you can line it up with like the hedges and the lamp posts and the benches as well. And you can add like snack machines and the phone booths. I think it just ties in really nice, especially because I had no idea what I wanted to do with that large area. So this area here, I just like, because it's my stairs, because I lined my stairs pretty much on both sides of my island. This area I just wanted to kind of make like a little seating area, and then little spaces that were filled with like trees, flowers, and just little items. And then this walkway, it was such an awkward shape that I couldn't do much with it. But I digress, and just so everyone knows, this big pause was for my favorite part on my island, my Nook store. I did a 3-part video on making this thing, and oh my god, like, I love my Nook store. I know it doesn't look nearly as like complicated or like patterns used and stuff like that as some of my other ideas, but there's something about the layout that I did of this like Nook store that I just love, because it looks kind of like grungy. It has kind of like a gas station, kind of like an automotive area. Then you have like the boxes out front and the bike, and I used kind of like that barbed wire out front, and then I kind of made it where it was like a bus stop outside with the snack machines, and I just really enjoy this area. I'll include the links, or the cards, sorry, for all 3 of the videos somewhere throughout that little speech I just did. In this area here, right across, I did do a video on this area. It's just a little seating area that I did, so I'll include the card there. The only thing that really sucks about this area is that there's not a lot of space for things. So literally, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I shook a tree and 100 bells fell out, and I haven't bothered to retrieve it. So this is the 3rd level of my island. I have my museum here, and I left that extra space to like if Brewster was supposed to come, but I don't know, I might just leave it just in case there's another building that comes in. But I initially wanted to build a staircase all the way down to my secret beach, but luckily I have war pipes, so I can abandon that idea and do something else with it. So this is my first kind of like lookout area that leads directly into my Zen garden. I might come back and redo the Zen garden. I haven't decided yet. I might do it in that area that I showed previously where I have like that large area with all the pots and everything around it on my first level by my camp. Then here I have like a little cafe area. This was my wonton soup donut area. I did make a video for this that includes the patterns I use for the wonton soup, quote unquote, and the donuts, even though it's like a ramen code, just bear with me. And then I have my second part of my lookout, which I have also done a video on, so I'll include a card. And then the lookout just leads on to my dig site, which I have also done a video on as well, so I'll include a card here. And this is also the final area that I had to show on my island tour. Like I said, I do have to go back and redo areas, or I have little areas to fit in. This is by no means like an island tour of like a complete island. This is just still a work in progress. But that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next one. Bye!